All right, Bears fans, we have a big DJ Moore update that I'm excited to share with you guys here on today's show. Will he be a Bear? Will he not? I have been told some information that I want to pass along to you guys. And I also told you guys earlier in the week that we are doing a February subscriber battle with those hated Green Bay Packers and the Packers Report. We got the early lead, but we got a long way to go. So if you want to take down the Packers Report and new subscribers this month, and you want to support this show, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk a little DJ Moore. Is DJ Moore set to be back in Chicago for 2026? That is the topic on today's show. My name is Harrison Graham. From what I have been told, and I think it's still early, and I don't think anything is set in stone. I think things are ongoing, and this is a fluid situation. I'll say this. I think it is more likely than not that DJ Moore returns next season on a restructured contract and that he does not get traded. Doesn't mean he wouldn't get traded. Doesn't mean another scenario couldn't happen. But I think the leader in the clubhouse right now, sitting on February 6th, as I check my date, is that he is back on a restructured deal. Now, his current cap hit is set for $28.5 million. So you really have three options to reduce that number. Cutting him's not really an option. He's too good of a player to cut. You could restructure him, which allows you to create up to $16.8 million in savings. It can be less than that, but that's the most it can be. If you cut him if you trade him, before June 1st, you save $16.5 million. And then if you were to trade him post June 1, it would actually be $24.5 million. That's a not very likely scenario because notable trades don't typically happen after June 1st, although it is a possibility. So let's talk about the restructured option because from what I have heard and what I have been told, this is the most likely scenario at this point in time. I'm cool going down this path, but you probably are just in the same position next year, right? Because when you restructure, it's not like money disappears forever. It goes on to the remaining years of the contract and gets spread out. So he's under contract through 2029, and so it pushes money down the road, and you're probably in a similar path this time next year. Do we cut him? Do we restructure him? Do we trade him? Again, cutting him's probably, he's too good to cut, I would say, certainly right now. Guess we'll never know, or we never know what could happen in a year. But you're just kind of kicking the can down the road, which I do think the Bears should be doing with some guys. But I also think it's fair to say, well, we got young weapons ascending. Should we just trade DJ Moore? Which is why we've talked about that possibility as well. Now, DJ Moore was at the NFL Awards show last night, and he won the Moment of the Year, which, of course, was that deep post from Caleb Williams to beat the Packers in overtime of the regular season. Awesome moment, and he has certainly delivered some big moments. He said this season was special for the 2025 Bears because RIP Virginia, talking about Virginia McCaskey, we went out there and made some moments this year. They were special moments, and we look forward to causing havoc toward the league next year. That doesn't sound like someone who's gone to me. Now, I don't know if that's just a blanket statement, if he's got an indication that the Bears want to keep him for next year. Obviously, he's under contract, so it's not like he's going to go out there and set and pretend like he's going to be on a different team or something like that. But I do think there are some tea leaves and, again, some information I've been told from what I can share at this point in time, that it's more likely than not that DJ Moore is back on this team next year. What I have said, though, and I think that has become crystal clear, he will not play under his current cap hit, $28.5 million. They will restructure the deal if he's back and lower that cap number. I do just wonder, though, and again, this is kind of, I look at the Bears' weapons at this point. It's kind of like positionless basketball. Wide receiver 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure it really matters. They have three good receivers in Rome, Luther, and DJ. They obviously have a really good tight end in Colson Loveland. So it's a crowded room. And again, that's why this has been a conversation for the last several months. Not because DJ Moore is a bad football player, but because you have other weapons and he makes a lot of money and you can save some money by trading, or in this case, if they go down this route, by restructuring him. He doesn't produce at a $28 million per year level at this point in time. Colson Loveland, who didn't really get going until mid-late October, surpassed him in receiving. Luther Burden, who wasn't involved until like November, really almost caught him in receiving. Rome Odunze, who missed 5 games, was basically right there with him. It's a very real possibility that DJ Moore is your 4th leading pass catcher in 2026, which honestly doesn't make sense for either side. DJ Moore is better than that, just in a blanket statement. But for this team, there's a world where he may not be. I expect these other guys to continue to improve. So, again, I'm cool going down this path if the worst outcome of all this is you just keep DJ Moore on a restructured deal. Great. Like, he's still a good player. He could still help you, all that stuff. But from an overall roster construction standpoint, like, I don't want keeping DJ Moore to prohibit you from adding to your defense, which it doesn't seem like it will because they're going to restructure the contract. But as long as that's the case, I am cool with this. They seem to like him clearly in the building. So obviously he was a big part of the trade Ryan Poles made with the Carolina Panthers. What should the Bears do with DJ Moore in your opinion? Type T for trade him or R for restructure him. Again, if they do a full restructure, it's basically the same in savings as it would be if they would trade him, which is 16.8 in a restructure, 16.5 via trade. So let me know down in the comments below. All right, we've got more to discuss when it comes to this topic, but I got to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor first. That is PrizePicks, the big game. It's almost here, 2 days away. There's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than on PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. New feature alert, PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. You can also get injury reboots with PrizePicks. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, PrizePicks will not count it as a loss. Big game max discount for this game as well. Drake May, half a passing yard, easy. You put that into one of your lineups, add some other players to your lineup, and you're already a piece of the way home to cashing in if you can hit on your lineup. So take advantage of that. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup, that is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. So let's talk a little bit more about DJ and the future and if he's going to be here. What does his role look like? Because his production has declined the past 2 years since his first year here when Justin Fields force-fed him a lot and this team just didn't have a lot of other good weapons. Clearly his days, at least on this team, of flirting with 100 catches and over 1,000 yards, I think those days are over. I think what you saw this year, 50 for 682, I think you're probably going to see more of that. I think he'll have anywhere between 40 and 60 catches and anywhere between 600 and 800 yards, which again, good player. That's fine, but I expect Luther Burden and Rome Odunze to ascend. They're entering year 2 and year 3. You need these guys to continue to ascend as players and become focal points of this offense. We saw that early last year with Rome. Then he had the foot injury, had some untimely drops, and the season just got away from him. I still have a lot of belief in who Rome is going to be on this team if he is healthy. Luther Burden, if he just figures out the mental part of the game, the playbook, where the alignment stuff that plagued him, especially early in the year, but even times late in the year, his talent is undeniable. He is an absolute freak of a player in terms of a route runner, ball in his hands, yak. He fits what Ben Johnson wants to a T. So again, I'm cool with DJ being here and having a role, but I don't know if he's like a primary target for this team moving next year. He's kind of just a role player, which is kind of why I've said, do you just cut your ties here, trade him, get what you can for him, and just unleash these other players? Again, it's not a bad thing if he's back. I know I'm doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. I'm not the anti-DJ Moore guy. It's just based on who else you have on the roster. Colston Loveland's going to be a big part of this offense. He should be. He needs to be. Top 10 pick who looked unguardable at times last year. Now, I think a potential theory that makes sense is the Bears know with DJ's contract, hey, we're probably not going to get a lot for him. 4th round pick at best. Maybe it's like a 5th. Who knows? Is it lower? let's just restructure him, keep him, and kick this down the road. Maybe he has a better year this year and his trade value goes up. Or, let's not even worry about 2027. We had this breakout year as a team. DJ was a part of it. He's a tough player, plays through stuff. There's a lot to like about DJ Moore. So we're not going to just get rid of him for a day 3 draft pick. And I totally understand that. Like, it's a bit of a bummer if you trade him and you only get like a 5th round pick for him. Totally understandable. So if you want to restructure and kick this down a year, that's fine as well. And I do think that could come into play because I feel like if a 2nd round pick was on the table for DJ Moore, this probably wouldn't even be a discussion. I think he would be traded, and that would be the end of it. But I don't think that's the case. His contract, his limitations as a route runner, good player. Certainly could help a lot of teams and have a bigger role on other teams, but I don't think teams trade for a contract like that when he's not a true number 1, like a 2nd round pick. You're probably looking at a day 3 pick, 4th, maybe a 5th round pick. Now, I will say this, if they do restructure DJ Moore, I think the good news of that is they're showing the willingness to do that. They haven't done that much in the past because they've tried to remain flexible. Well, I think you're in this win now window. So, you restructure DJ Moore and you got several other players you could do. I think Joe Tooney would be a guy I would restructure. Jonah Jackson. You could think about Montez Sweat if you wanted to. I don't think you do Dio Adangbo. I don't think you do Grady Jarrett because those are cut candidates for 2027. So I think you leave those contracts alone. Do you restructure Jalen Johnson and save up to $6.9 million? Kyler Gordon, who in the playoff game looked unbelievable. If he could stay healthy, you would certainly be comfortable kicking some money down the road there. Regardless, I would expect multiple contract restructures because they're about negative $10 million in the hole based on the salary cap projection. And with some restructures and cutting Tremaine Edmonds, which I expect them to do, and a couple other moves, they can get 50, 60, hell, over 100 million in cap space if they really want to. I don't think they'll go that crazy, but clearly this is a team that wants to add some pieces on defense this offseason. At least I would think that's the case. So we'll see where it all goes, and DJ could be the first domino. Like I said, I was told that they're leaning more toward a restructure than they are toward a trade. Could they be approaching him with a pay cut? I was not told that verbiage. I don't think he would take a pay cut with 4 years left in his deal. It would speak a lot if he did. That would, he would really be sending that message of how strongly he wants to remain here now that he's finally part of a winning team. But I'm sure his agent would advise him against that. Who will lead the Bears in receiving next year? Let me know in the comment section of this video. Bears leading receiver in 2026. I don't think it'll be DJ. I think it'll be Colston, Luther, or Rome. I think it'll be one of those 3 players, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. That's going to do it for Chicago Bears. Now we will continue to monitor the DJ Moore situation. Congratulations to him for winning Moment of the Year. Certainly delivered some big moments and made some big plays. So, if he's here, hopefully he can do more of that, and I would expect him to be able to do so. My name is Harrison Graham. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.